Well, we could talk about New Year's resolutions, but let's talk song. This video here is a request by HobbitJean. They requested My Tears Ricochet from the Folklore album of Taylor Swift's. I am not really familiar with her previous work, so I'm really interested in finding out more about the songwriting of that brilliant artist that Taylor Swift is. Let me thank Andrew Morgan, big supporter here on YouTube, and JC, Prince of Wales, and Amy Way over on Patreon. If the rest of you also want to contribute, please check the links in description. I really want to know more about Taylor Swift songwriting, so without further ado, let's get going. This reminds me of So Long London, where she also had this really interesting vocal intro with this so long and so on. Really cool. Step one, find the key. Boom, 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 I believe it's the tone center. We might be in the key of C major. Step 2, find chord progression. I believe that we have got something like this. A C to G progression and then G to A minor. Let's see how things continue from here on. Oh, second chord progression or a variation of that idea is a C to G, and then we have E minor to F. So let's wrap up chord scale degrees for a second, starting from the beginning. 1 5 5 6 minor, 1 5 3 minor 4. Third variation, A minor, G, E minor, F, so 6 minor, 5, 3 minor, 4. And then we start after 3 progressions. Already interesting.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room.
Cool. I think it's the last progression that they keep, the one starting with A minor.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room.
Cool. Melody that starts after the downbeat. So we hear the chord first, we gather, and then it goes, I think, on the 3 of the beat.
We gather here, we line up, weeping in a sunlit room.
What's interesting is that she would sing thirds of the chord only at the beginning. So here we've got the minor third, the C as a minor third of A minor. Then she goes to the B melody note while the chord plays a G. And then she does the same thing with the E minor, okay, where she sings the D. And then the thing that she ends with is landing on the 5th of the F chord.
And if I'm on fire, you'll be made of ashes.
Variation of that original idea. The first difference is that we have got a transitionary melody. And taking us back to the C that we have to start the melody on.
If I'm on fire.
Okay, but the core idea is the same. C to B as the rock solid notes.
You'll be made of ashes too.
You'll be made of ashes too. Interesting that in the first melody she would go down to the C. And here she goes up to the C an octave above. Cool. Lyrics. We gather here, we line up weeping in a sunlit room. And I'm on fire, you will be made of ashes too. A very, very clear XA rhyming pattern where we gather here and I'm on fire don't rhyme at all. and room and to do rhyme.
Even on my worst day.
First difference where we notice that we are in a new section is the melody beginning on the 1 instead of after the downbeat.
Even on my worst day, did I deserve, babe, all the hell you...
Okay? The chord progression certainly stays the same. It might be a verse variation. It's certainly different because it does not start after the downbeat, but instead on the downbeat.
Even on my worst day.
Okay, and also we start with a different melody note. Remember that we had the 2 beginnings on the C. Now we go up a third. That would be the 5th of the A minor chord. And only then we go down to the C.
Did I deserve, babe?
Same idea here. Going down a third.
All the hell you gave me.
This we know from the second half of the verse. This movement from G to F, from G to C, up in that case.
'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you, till my dying day.
Interesting, and this might be the wrap-up of the verse ideas, where we go back to the after downbeat idea in the melody.
'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you.
Okay, so the melody movement is taken from the 3rd verse idea, and the after the downbeat idea is taken from the 1st verse half.
Till my dying day.
And now we go back down to the C. So it's a really interesting verse structure where we have got 4 varying patterns. And especially while looking at the way those patterns end, we spot that the movement to the C down we find in the 1st and last variation, and in the 2nd and 3rd we go up from the G to the C. Really interesting. Let's look at lyrics from the 2nd verse half. Even on my worst day did I deserve, babe, all the hell you gave me. 'Cause I loved you, I swear I loved you till my dying day. So this is clearly different from the 1st verse half. This time I would say AAX, BBA. Because day, babe, me, you, day are the rhyming words at the end of the pattern. So it's quite interesting that she would take the first word, day, and bring it back in the last line.
Till my dying day.
Transitioning into a major idea.
I didn't have it in myself to.
Was it a 1-2 minor, 4 minor 5?
I didn't have it in myself to go.
No, it was a 1-2 minor, 6 minor 4 idea. C, D minor, A minor, and F. What's really interesting is that she doesn't start the melody until the 2nd bar of the progression, and only then after the downbeat.
I didn't.
Is it this?
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace.
To go with grace. This is really interesting. So a melody that spans over a complete octave. Featuring cool arpeggiated hymns at the chords, right? Look at this. Isn't that beautiful? With a C major at the bottom and juiced up and flavored up by that F note. And then we've got this also cool thing here where we could argue that this is a C add 9 and add 11 idea, or we could also say that's an F structure with the F at the bottom and then C, D, D, and E at the top. Really, really beautiful. Certainly not a typical chorus, so I would argue that we are in some kind of pre-chorus in a build-up.
And you're the hero flying around saving face.
Tiny variation at the end. Remember that she goes up for grace, right? Because grace is also a word that requires a lift. And then saving face is a more modest idea. Let's look at the lyrics for a second. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, and you're the hero flying around saving face. So almost brilliant metric rhythm. But of course she had to sneak in a mispronunciation. So it's a really cool blend between stressed and unstressed syllables, right? I didn't have it in myself to go with grace, right? It's always unstressed followed by stressed. I didn't have it in myself to go with grace. And then it's, and you're the hero flying around saving face. Okay, so the around is pronounced exactly the opposite way that it should, which is a Taylor Swift typical thing, and we've talked about this in other videos.
And if I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake?
Tiny variation at the end, this time rhythmical. We go back up to the E, but include this interesting eighth variation. Instead of we do, and we are still in this build-up mode. By now we have established an AAA rhyming pattern, which builds the expectation towards a fourth line that is probably also going to be an A line.
In my name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
See? And we get the payoff, but we get it really, really weirdly. We get it 3 times with 3 tiny lines, well, 2 tiny lines and a longish one, that all rhyme with grace, face, and wake, and that deliver also the title of the song at the end. The 3 lines are cursing my name, wishing I'd stayed, look at how my tears ricochet, and the melody goes like this.
Cursing my name. Wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
Is it this? Looking at my tears ricochet. Really beautiful thing here. A major 7th leap down. And then we drop to the E. Really, really cool. Chord progression was the same all the way through, and turns out we were in the chorus after all, because now with the punchline delivered, it's pretty clear that this was the chorus. It's certainly not a dramatic or a powerful arrangement, I should say. Dramatic, yes. Instrumental interlude that plays the chords from the chorus. C, D minor, A minor, and F.
Gather stones, never knowing what they'll.
This is the second verse. Things that we know.
Some to throw, some to make a diamond ring.
This time, bringing together the first and third line more elegantly than in the first idea. We gather stones, never knowing what they mean, some to throw, some to make a diamond ring. Okay, so now we make an A-B-A-B rhyming pattern out of it.
Didn't want to have to haunt you, but what a ghostly.
I think this we know also from, as a verse variation, this we know from verse 1, I think it was this one.
Even on my worst day.
Yes. How did this end?
All the hell you gave me.
I thought so, yes. It ended on this high movement. That she now takes down again.
But what a ghostly scene.
So now she plays with those different line endings.
Wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me.
You wear the same jewels that I gave you as you bury me. Interesting prosodic element, or anti-prosodic element, I should say, because burying someone is certainly not uplifting, but the melody goes up. As you bury me.
As you bury me.
So she changes the line endings of verse line 3 and 4, where before she had upward followed by downward movement, now she has got downward followed by upward movement. Interesting choice.
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace.
Very, very on the grid melody, right? Have it in myself to go. Rhythmically speaking, right? Only with this grace, she adds a little hiccup at the end.
When I'd fight, you used to tell me I was brave.
Really, really powerful thing that is majestic because of that on the grid melody.
If I'm dead to you, why are you at the wake?
And she breaks the pattern every once in a while, right? At the wake.
In my name, wishing I'd stayed. Look at how my tears ricochet.
Such beautiful melodies. It's a really nice vocal exercise as well, because this major 7 interval is quite unusual, and it's something that we don't sing quite often. So is something that gets us used to that interval. Really cool idea.
And I can go anywhere I want.
Post-chorus idea, we could also argue primary bridge, but it's certainly still the chords from the chorus.
And I can go anywhere I want.
Melody.
And I can go anywhere I want.
So it's certainly taken from that cursing my name, wishing I'd stayed, right? And I can go anywhere.
Anywhere I want, just not home.
It's the My Tears Ricochet idea, right? Anywhere I want, just not home. Again with that major 7 leap.
And you can aim for my heart, go for blood. But you would still miss me in your bones.
And again.
And I still talk to you.
New idea? Right? Background vocal filling up the melody. New melodic idea.
And when you can't sleep at night.
Go back to that. What song do I know that from? I don't know. Okay, the 2 melodies that take turn now. And really cool additional bars that give us a room to settle into this last broken down chorus. And it's on the 4 chord, okay, making it even more dreamy and in suspense.
I didn't.
Only just hinted at. I didn't. So that we can get into the last chorus.
And so the battleships will sink beneath the...
New lyrics. And so the battleships will sink beneath the waves. Always with that wavy metric rhythm.
Cursing my name, wishing I stayed.
And this cursing my name, wishing I'd stayed is a device that she uses in order to keep things interesting, right? Because after the 3rd time of you have to include a variation in order to keep the listener hooked and in order to kind of spice things up a little bit.
You turned into your worst fears.
Okay, the tears don't ricochet anymore. Now it's you turned it to your worst fears.
And you tossing out blame, drunk on this pain.
But it's certainly variations of those tears ricocheting, right? It's something that we had after the second chorus as well.
Look at how my tears ricochet.
Now she goes back to that vocal intro for the outro. And a fade out at the end. This was Taylor Swift's My Tears Ricochet, and I'm sure we can take away valuable songwriting learnings. Songwriting learning number 1, and it's only now that I'm spotting the structure of this song. We have got a pre-chorus, but it's not the one that I was expecting. So the pre-chorus is what I was calling the second verse half all the time. The first verse half is certainly this one here.
We gather here, we line up, we've been in a sunlit room.
We establish this, then we vary this in a kind of repetition, and then we go into the pre-chorus that offers clear contrast, especially with the downbeat melody beginning.
Even on my worst day.
Right? They have got similarities. They have got the same chord progression, and they have got the same melody endings, at least something that they play with, that similarity in the endings that they also turn around every once in a while. This shows us how powerful melody beginnings are in order to create contrast, because it's certainly still a building up section for the chorus. So something that I didn't spot the first time around, but that I now see looking at the lyrics. Songwriting learning number 2, it's about melodic variation in the chorus. So if you've got a very strong hook like this, I didn't have it in myself to go with grace.
I didn't have it in myself to go with grace.
Then you are allowed to repeat this idea exactly 3 times. For the 4th time, you must think of something new, and this is what she thought of.
My name, wishing I stayed. Look at how my tears.
Right? So that things get interesting. So it's in that case, it's an AAAB structure, right? With the B tagline wrapping things up and offering the title of the song. And songwriting learning number 3. It's a Taylor Swift classic. It's a Let's Talk song classic. What can I say? It's about mispronunciation of words. It was almost flawless up until this flying around idea. Listen to this.
And you're the hero flying around, say.
Right? Around. No, not really. So yes, it's something that Taylor Swift likes doing. It's something that I like being picky about. Once you have established a metric rhythm, please make sure to stick to it and to find words that actually fit the metric rhythm. Please, please, please. And this was my live reaction and on-the-fly analysis of Taylor Swift's My Tears Ricochet. Thank you to HobbitJean for suggesting that song. I learned something. I hope you did too. If you liked the video, please make sure to give me the thumbs up, to subscribe to the Let's Talk Song channel if you haven't yet, and to leave friendly comments. Also, let me thank Andrew Morgan here on YouTube and JC Prince of Wales and Amy May over on Patreon for their financial support of that enterprise. If the rest of you also want to contribute, please check the links in descriptions. Also visit me on Linktree to check out further resources that I have curated for you. I guess we've talked song. You can talk about New Year's resolutions now. Bye bye.